Hey guys, it's your girl BRANDIJENAE, and what's for lunch? Because I'm back really quick with a lunchtime interview. Carlos King is at it again. Um, he has struck us with another interview, and this time it is Miss Juicy Baby from Little Women Atlanta. I was about to say Real Housewives, but no, not Real Housewives. She is from Little Women Atlanta. I don't know if you guys got a chance to look at Little Women Atlanta, but it was really a good show. Of course, Miss Minnie passed away, rest in peace. But Juicy was a long time castmate of that show and really kind of I guess a staple. Well, I guess all the girls was. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into this interview. And go ahead, put your comments. Let's chat about what it is that we're talking about. I might do some pausing in between just so I can kind of give in my commentary because the very purpose and why I am screen sharing and actually watching Carlos King's interview with you that is on his platform for you to go and watch from his platform is so that I can pause and have commentary with my listeners, okay, and with my subscribers. So, cousins, check in. Let me know what y'all eating for lunch. Let me know what you think about the interview. Okay, let's get started. I'll add myself back to the stage. There we go. And
I teased so much, Carlos, in high school. They used to thought I was a little toy. They used to put me in a trash can and roll it down.
No, Miss Juicy.
I was like, whippy!
Miss Juicy Baby is here.
It's Miss Juicy Baby.
Yeah. When did it first register for you as a young girl that you are a little person growing up in this world?
In elementary, I was the shortest one, everything. Junior high, I was on drill team. But I wanted to make sure I was at the front. I want to be seen. Dynamite come in small packages.
Don't they?
Okay.
How did you get into the entertainment business?
Before you heard of your Tyler Perry, it was Shirley Garrett. He was doing a play back then. It's called Beauty Shop. And Kim Whitley came up there. She said, you killed it. You got the opportunity to go around and tour the world. God gave me a talent to entertain. Don't use my size as a crutch, but use it as a stepping stone.
Because how long were you part of the Ricky Smiley Show?
14 years.
What made you leave?
I know my worth.
When your contract was up.
I didn't have one.
Wait, what?
God bless you.
Wait, so for 14 years.
God bless you.
Was it very difficult for you to walk away from the Ricky Smiley Show because did you think like financially, what else is there for me?
That's how I found Little Women Atlanta. I was grinding.
You weren't a main cast member the first season.
And there's no dig at anybody to be on TV. You gotta have substance. If you don't have substance and you can't carry it, what are you there for? They realized we need Juicy. So they came back to me with a real contract because the first contract was nothing.
So was the beef between you and Miss Minnie made up?
You want some more juice?
Were you and the other Little Women acting?
See, here's the deal.
You felt like Miss Minnie became jealous of you.
I didn't think that she was trying to be like me, but I wasn't saying it. I was blind to it.
Before Miss Minnie passed away,
okay.
Did you two reconcile your friendship?
Truthfully.
Hey, Raindrops. On today's episode of Reality with the King, Miss Juicy Baby is here.
You know what? I can't even say nothing to you about the way you said it. As long as you said it right.
What?
We might need to practice the delivery, okay? You already know. It's Miss Juicy Baby.
Yes! Give me some on that. We miss you, Miss Juicy.
I don't know why. I've been right here.
Girl, it's like you've been MIA in the ATL.
Well, MIA in ATL because I'm waiting for the right thing to come up so I can make my grand appearance, you know.
Okay. Well, before we get into that, this is Reality with the King.
Okay.
And one thing about Reality with the King is I like to bring some of my reality into yours and vice versa.
Okay.
So, your name is Miss Juicy.
Miss Juicy.
So,
baby.
Miss Juicy Baby.
Miss Juicy,
So I got some juices for us.
All right.
We're going to try some juices.
Okay.
You ready for that?
Yes.
All right. So, Lizzie, can you bring the juices over?
She got more juice than I already have.
Well, nobody has more juice than you, girl.
Okay.
Okay. Look at this.
Yes.
You see this display? All right, so Miss Juice, I got juice shots for us.
Okay.
Because you're juicy.
That's right.
And we got juices.
Okay.
Okay. So, we got the elderberry, ginger, and turmeric.
Okay.
We got the watermelon. Okay. This is ginger and turmeric shot.
Okay.
This is the green juice. It's apple, celery, cucumber, kale, collard, not collard greens, child, lemonade. And then this is berry and lemon pink.
Okay.
Are you ready for it?
Yes.
Okay. Which one you want to try first?
It don't matter.
Okay.
Actually, let's go ahead and do the turmeric to get it out the way.
Okay. We'll do the ginger and turmeric shot.
Yes.
Okay.
Love ginger.
You ready?
Mm-hmm. You ready?
We're going to do a shot.
Oh, I was going to turn.
Do a toast.
Okay, we're going to toast.
Welcome back to Miss Juicy Baby.
Yes.
Miss Juicy Baby.
You got it right.
He is trying it. Carlos is so funny because why can't he get that right? Miss Juicy Baby. Like, why can't you get that right, Carlos? But he tried it.
Ooh!
It kind of wakes you up.
That's the reason I took that ginger and turmeric, man.
Ooh.
Oh, yes. And then you can wash it down with the rest of it.
I'm shaking.
For real?
It gives you like this tingling sensation. You know, like sometimes when you put like stuff on your skin and it tingles?
I think, yeah, right all up in here. That's what that ginger and turmeric does.
I won't go there. Okay. All right, let's try the green juice next.
Okay.
I don't know how much I can take of this, girl. That turmeric is crazy. Are you ready?
This collard.
I know, but green juice is good for you.
Okay.
Woo! How you feel about that?
It tastes like... Do it have some spirulina in it or something?
What's that, girl?
A spirulina? What y'all
girl, I know what's in it.
It's something. That's a shame.
Woo! That's all I can take, girl. But how you been? It's been forever since I seen you. The last time I saw you was on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, and you were a damn elf.
All right.
In the words of Nene Leakes.
That's what I've been saying. Juicy, what you doing up there? Oh, so you now?
Do you be seeing some of those clips online of like you at the Christmas party on Housewives?
Yes, because everybody always send them to me. Yeah. Especially that one.
Yeah.
Or if I'm online, if I'm live online, somebody will comment that exactly what Nene said to me. So I see the clips all the time. And so, but it don't bother me. I miss those days, you know, with the girls, you know.
So I want to get to know you and have the raindrops get to know you on a much deeper level. So were you born and raised in Atlanta? Like, what's your backstory?
I was born and raised in Texas, in Corsicana, Texas, you know. Texas native between Dallas and Houston, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And
can't you tell my cowboy all day?
Let me see the tattoos.
Dallas Cowboys, baby, my blue star.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I know y'all those tattoos, Miss Juicy.
Well, when you get
you got more that you're hiding that I can't see? Is that what it is?
Once you get one, you get addicted, so you got to keep getting them.
I know all about some of that. Okay. So you got more. How many tattoos do you have?
12.
You have 12 tattoos?
Yes.
Where are they located?
All over my body. There's no...
I just see 2.
That's all you need to see.
So the other 10 is for the special man.
That's right.
Or woman.
Well, what you mean, a woman for the man?
Well, there's rumors that you're gay.
Well, you know what? When you on TV, those rumors always start because people feel like they know you.
Mm-hmm.
And because you haven't presented something, they don't know what I do in my private life because they haven't seen me with somebody. Well, they see me with everybody.
Yeah.
Because I know everybody.
Yeah, you know everybody.
Yes.
So do you have a special somebody?
My God.
Amen.
Okay. That's my special somebody.
Do you have a special somebody that can see the other 10 tattoos on your body?
No, not at this moment.
Okay. You're single?
Yes.
Okay. And you like men?
Of course.
Okay.
Love them. I don't just like them. I love them.
Okay. So, but talk to me about this. Obviously, you're from Texas.
Yes.
And you are a little person.
Uh-huh.
When did it first register for you as a young girl that you are a little person growing up in this world?
When it registered, like you said, when I was growing up, my sister is 5'6", 5'6", 5'7", and here I am. I'm 4 foot even. So, but even before then, I always had a little stool to even reach the bed, to get in the bed. A little step stool to climb up to the counter so I can reach anything, to brush my teeth so I can see the mirror, everything. It always registered. And then growing up in elementary, I was the shortest one, everything. Junior high, I was on drill team. But I wanted to make sure I was at the front. I wanted to be seen. So I was like, okay, how are we going to get me up to the front? I tried out for one of the officers of the drill team so I can be up front. Yes, I might be small, but I'm in charge. And I got a lot of dynamite. What they say, dynamite come in small packages.
Don't they?
Okay. So I wanted to let the world see,
Yeah.
So, and plus my parents, very small. Both of them 4'11". My father was 4'11", and my mom was 4'11". And so I knew from, the get-go that I was small, but it didn't stop me. My mom and dad was like, whatever you want to do, you can do it. Just put your mind, don't let nobody tell you no. Or you're going to get a lot of no's, but prove them wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Are you the first little person in your family? Or the only two?
Okay, so what would qualify as a little person? Because Carlos, I feel like she just told you that her parents were too. But is it under 4'11"? Because it is a rule. And it's funny because they talked about it on Little Women. There's a height underneath a particular height. So maybe Juicy is about to get into that right now. So I guess let's see. Hey, Duncan, sorry it took me so long. I was on the other page, so I didn't see the comments, honey. Thank you, cousin. I'm so glad you joined us. How's your week going so far? Girl, I know I missed the Little Women. I mean, I don't know if it had anything to do because they came back. That was the last season that they came back was after Minnie's passing, and then we didn't get no more. And I wonder. So I'm hoping Juicy gets into some of this because I feel like, I'm gonna say this to Carlos. I feel like Tara is the next person. Tara, was that her name? Remember from LA? I feel like she's the one that started it. And so it would be interesting to get her, even though she used to work my nerves on LA Girl. But I look, I kind of got this love-hate relationship with Tara because she cool, but she get on my nerves. Um, and yeah, I can't wait to hear about this Ricky Smiley thing, because clearly other people had known whatever happened with between her and Ricky Smiley, but I had no idea. All of a sudden she was just off. And wasn't that, now you correct me if I'm wrong, is it, that was before Portia, because Miss Juicy had always been in that spot, and then all of a sudden we see, like, I feel like Portia took her job. I don't know. Is that right or not? I don't know. Let's finish the interview.
No. My dad, well, my mom had all average size. My dad has like 3 or 4 tall sisters, but then he has 2 short sisters that one of them is 4'11", the other one I think is 4'5".
Oh, really?
And they have children like I don't want to say her name, but yeah, she has. So my cousin has 2 little children, and then my other cousin, and he's short, and he has a load of children. So and all of them, I mean, I call them my favorite aunties, you know, because I always used to try to stick my foot in their shoes because I couldn't, the tall sisters, I couldn't, their shoes were so big, they were like boats on me. But they was like, okay, I got a little short auntie, so hey, you know, they had small feet too. So yeah.
So you never felt like different because.
So does Juicy not like using the word little person? And that's funny that she would avoid that. Well, I guess maybe not as funny as what I'm about to say, because maybe that's why she never had an issue with playing like an elf, or a character of what we, I guess, assume little people to play, like elves. That's the first thing that come to my mind, and I can't think of nothing else. Anyway, but I remember that being a storyline on Little Women. Minnie and a couple of the other ones were very much against wanting to be, I think it was an elf or something. They didn't like playing those roles. They didn't like people coming to ask them about that. And Juicy seemed to not have a problem. As we just noted, she was on Real Housewives of Atlanta as one of the elves. But I'm noticing on this interview that she's avoiding acknowledging that her aunts or any other person in her family was an actual little person. She's saying, she's using the term small. And it's all relative, but I do think small is different than a little person. So it would be nice if she was more comfortable with the appropriate vernacular.
It seems like everybody in your family aren't obviously, the tallest, because how tall are you?
I'm 4 even.
You're 4 even.
Yes.
So with your parents are 4'11", your
sister, my sister,
your sister's 5'6". Your parents 4'11". Your father's siblings, one of them is 4'5". So
one is 4'5" and one is 4'11". Then the other 2 is like 5'9" and 6 foot something, So I mean, so he has some real tall sisters too, even though he was the only boy. But all the real tall sisters that are every size. And so,
did you ever feel like different or got teased in school?
I got teased all the time, but I don't feel different. I feel like they different, honey. I'm normal. Child, they better catch up to me. So I got teased all the time. I got teased so much, Carlos, where in high school, they used to thought I was a little toy. The little trash cans that shoot the big trash bins that they have. They used to put me in a trash can and roll it down.
No, Miss Juicy.
Roll it down the hallway, and so there you go. I was like, whippy. So I played along with it. You know, it wasn't nothing to me.
So you always had like a sense of humor.
Oh yes.
About that.
Oh yes. Oh yes. They teased or they made it a joke. Now I stand up for myself though. I let them know when they don't went too far. But this not a joking matter because I'm little don't mean nothing. Okay, I'm still normal. You might be taller, but you might be the one that's not normal. I'm normal, baby.
How did you get into the entertainment business?
Oh, truthfully. I was doing it in school, but professionally, like you said, I know no strangers. The late great Shelley Garrett, he passed away some years ago. He is the godfather of Black Plays production. Before you heard of your Tyler Perry's, it was Shelley Garrett. And he saw me. I was out in the club one night, you know, with Mr. James.
She's right about that. You know, can we give us a little hand clap for Mr. Shelley Garrett? Tyler Perry did come on the scene and he brought Medea to us, and he really kind of, you know, took over. But Shelley Garrett was first.
James Price, he's in the entertainment industry, a Black club owner in Texas, Dallas, Texas, and he was doing a play back then. It's called Beauty Shop. He was like, I need a new owner of the beauty shop, and I think you will be perfect for this role. You meet no strangers. Have you ever did play it before? I said, yeah, at church and in school. And he was like, but you meet no strangers. I think you'll like it. At that time, I had no professional experience. And so I exchanged information, gave him my mom number. You know, we changed our number about 50 times, but your parents don't never change their information. And so I was like, if you serious, call my mom or whatever. So when it came up, he was like, he gave my mom a call. He said something else came up. I'm thinking about something before that. I'm still doing it. But I don't know if you remember the name Kim Whitley. Okay. She was in a play, and she had to get out of it because back a long time ago, to tell you how long I've been in it, she was filming old drama, the talk show that she had on BT.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Kim Whitley, Kim and so they all was filming it. So she had to go out and finish filming it. So her part was available, and so he needed somebody to fulfill her shoe, the last leg of the tour. And he said, "You guys' personality match. That would be perfect for you." So I went and got the script and everything. He said, "Okay, you got 2 weeks to learn this script. I know you can do it." He gave me the videotape, so I looked at it. I got the script. I learned it. Next thing you know, he gave me my ticket to go to Dayton, Ohio. And so he said, next time I see you, I'll meet you there. Got the part and everything. And we practice nonstop. When you're doing productions like that, this is across the world. It ain't no just a play, it's a production. So we was already traveling. And so he was like, I don't want you to be scared or anything. Find something so you won't look directly in the audience. You see that exercise, look up there, and just kill it. Go out there and do what you're doing. You're doing an incredible job. I thought I was doing horrible in practice. I know I messed up about 50 times or whatever. I went through so much during that time. Through those 2 weeks, I had to learn everything. I lost my father. and everything, and I had to learn everything. And then I was on the stage with practice with Larry Blackman from Cameo, Howard Hewitt, all of them. You know, these people that are already celebrities, like, and then Bernadette Stainer Stilmer,
Yeah,
you know, all of them. And so I'm like, how am I gonna compare to them? I ain't never did this before. And then I'm up here in Dayton, Ohio. And so only thing I knew about Dayton at the time, David Pearson was there. And after the play, he said, I got somebody for you to meet. She was out in the audience. It was Shirley Murdoch. She said, girl, you killed it. And she had her little disguise on. I said, honey, you cannot fool me. I said, I know who you are. And so I started singing Before You Left Me. And she was like, oh my goodness, how did you know? And so she said, you did a great job. To make a long story short, we did the play, went to Indianapolis, and Kim Whitley came up there. She said, I heard so much about you and I wanted to meet you. She was like, girl, she sit out there in the audience and watched the whole thing. And so afterwards, she was like, we stand at the same hotel. Let's talk. So she talked to me. She said, you killed it. For you not to have a name, right then, I wasn't Miss Juicy. I was just little mama then. And so she said, you killed it. She said, you killed it. I want you to use this opportunity. You got the opportunity to go around and tour the world. Do not take that for granted. You got to go out there, expose yourself. In other words, let people know that you're here. Get you a burn phone or something. Let them know that you're unstoppable like this. And she was like, because you're killing it. You carrying this play for you not to have a name. So like I said, I did. From that one thing, I was Big Sugar then. I always had a name that was bigger than me. I was Big Sugar. Then Beauty Shop finally came around. Then we came back and did Beauty Shop. Then I was Big Mama. Big Lucille. Then I was Big Mama Lucille. I was a new owner of Beauty Shop. So I did so well in one play where he kept getting me in another one. And Beauty Shop, that's where they got the movie from, our play. We had to stop touring sometimes when they was trying to name the movie Beauty Shop, because they had to get the rights from him, from Shelley Garrett, because he created it. And so, because remember Monique came out 1st, she had to call hers hair show.
Right. Oh, that's right.
Yes. Yeah. I tell you how long I've been in it. Yeah. She had to call her a hair show. And then Queen Latifah called her a Beauty Shop because they got the rights.
Because they got
from him to call it Beauty Shop. And so, yep, that's how I got in it, because it was the love of it. Because God gave me a talent to entertain. Don't use my size as a crutch, but use it as a stepping stone so I can motivate other people to keep going and doing what they love to do. And I love to gab, so why not get paid to gab, okay?
Is that how you got into being a part of the Ricky Smiley Show too?
He wanted a little person on his show, on his radio show, Ricky did. And so Monique, wasn't Monique? Yeah. Monique was out doing, matter of fact, she was doing a promotion for, I think, her show or something, and she saw me. And then Sister Sandra, that was on a Ricky show, was like, oh my goodness, Ricky, wanted a little person on the show, and he would love to meet you. And so she was like, you know who Ricky Smiley is? I was like, yeah, I know who he is.
Pause really quick right there. Now, this is interesting. It's funny how you can listen to interviews and, well, at least my brain works this way. Like I can hear things that's not being said, or maybe I just read into stuff too far. I don't know. However, goes back to what I said. It seems like she doesn't want to use, now she's referencing little person, but if you notice, she doesn't use that to describe herself. She used it as a reference. And what I also thought is very interesting. So let's get into as we get more into the story about what happened between the Ricky Smiley show, is that Ricky wanted a little person on his show. That would say to me that he wanted somebody that he could purposely poke fun with. That it did not come from an uplifting place. And I'm gonna just leave that there.
That's how I said it. And she said, well, let me warn you, I don't want you to be scared. He a little crazy now. He see you, he gonna go crazy. And so can you come up with this back in Dallas? When we was in Dallas, when we first started there. And he wanna meet you. This is where come to the morning show. So I went up there to meet him, and he came. When he just got to talking to me, he saw me. That's when they was in the old building. They in the new building now. It was like inside of a mall, and they was up. They call it a fishbowl because you could see out when I came in. He started jumping up and down, and I was down there. I was like, "Oh my goodness!" I'm gonna turn around and walk out. He got to talking to me and saw that I met no strangers, and he was like, offer me a job right then and there. He offered me a job right then and there, and then it was just answering the phone. And from there, answering the phone on the radio, when they would call in. But I was getting smart with the people when they called in. He said, girl, somebody gonna come up here and whoop your little butt. I said, don't want none, won't be none. I said, they ain't ready. And so, well, from there, we grew. And then I did a movie with Fred Hammond. And so from Texas. And so then it just grew years after years. And then I became a regular personality on the show. So it went up to be 14 years. So then the show got syndicated. Then we came to Atlanta. Well, we were still in Dallas first, but we was broadcasting in Atlanta and then all over St. Louis and everywhere. And so when we moved up here, I moved with him, of course, because by then I was a personality.
Because how long were you part of the Ricky Smiley show?
14 years.
14 years.
I just left in 2019.
What made you leave?
Okay, so that had nothing to do with Portia.
I know my worth. I'm a force to be reckoned with. And sometimes people get complacent and get comfortable. And
talk about it.
I'm not that person. I just don't want to just sit up under somebody's umbrella and feel like I'm locked in, just can't do nothing else. I don't want to feel like that. I feel like the world is mine. So that's the reason. No, it wasn't no bad blood. It was.
Okay, so she's basically like describing not wanting to be typecasted. And then she kind of threw her other people under the bus, because I feel like she's referencing the Brat and what's the man name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. I can't think of his name right now. But I mean, here's the thing. It's like having a job in soap opera, right? Like they work every single day. It feels like that would be kind of like the dream, is to have a job that you, for the most part, know is not going anywhere, and you got somewhere to go every day. But I get where she coming from too, because like when you ambitious, like you can't stop it. Like, so you might be good somewhere for a little while, and then your ambition is going to, start to itch at you, and you're gonna have to move around.
I needed to explore my options.
When your contract was up.
That's the point. I didn't have one.
Wait, what? You don't have a contract?
God bless you.
Wait, so for 14 years.
God bless you.
Yeah.
What God has for me is for me.
Yeah.
But like I said, know your worth. Know that I
Yeah.
am
That's
loved.
messed up.
And people are going to remember me regardless, whether I'm there, here, or wherever.
Well, I want you to know, look, you are loved. You are loved. You've always been like this pillar of our lives.
Now, funny enough, I just said that. I paused this interview and I just said that as soon as she said how she ended up on Ricky Smiley's show, I said, because she said he wanted a little person. And Ricky Smiley is a goof troop, right? Like he's the type of goofy I can't get with. Some of his stuff is funny, but he does things I don't like. And I don't have the type of comedy that laughs at other people's misfortunes, like the way that they look, like things that are who they are. I don't make fun of that, and I generally don't like people who do that, because it's cruel, mean, and you need anyway. So I can immediately pick up on the fact that if he is actively looking for a little person to add to his show, then he's actively wanting to put that person in a position where he's gonna poke fun at them, and I just don't think that's cool. Juicy probably was the better person for it because, as we can see, right, laughing at her, not with her. That's right. And I just pointed this out to y'all, as we can see, Juicy is disassociated from the fact that she's a little person for the most part. And I think that's just how she's been able to survive in a world of regular height people, as opposed to constantly focusing on the fact that she is different. So, with that being said, just like Miss Dogan said, she probably realized, and she's being nice about it right here, but she realized that Ricky was smiling, was laughing at her and not with her. And that is a problem. On top of the fact that you worked for this man for 14 years and he didn't have the decency to give you a contract. So that just explained exactly what I just said before that, which was, what? Oh shit! I forgot my own damn thought. Excuse me, y'all. But what did I just say before that when I paused to say about Ricky? Oh, about why she left. I was just saying, like, she talked, the way she explained that, talked about like as if she was being typecasted. But no, the reality is this person never thought worthy enough of you to give you something that showed his commitment to you and just expected you to show up for him. I agree. It was time to move around. Yeah, zero respect. That I agree. Now that really makes me look at him like I never had this like great affection for him, but I just thought, okay, Ricky Smiley, he funny, he cool. Because again, I don't listen to his show. They have commentary that I don't agree with. Um, but I don't, hey, I want everybody to be successful and whatever. So yeah, but this right here, this is different. Yeah, that's slimy. I don't think that she worked for free, but let's get into it. Let's get into the rest of the interview. I'm not going to say that she worked for free, but she worked without a commitment about her job. That's what, to me, that's what it is. That she worked, there was no contract. There was no agreement to say, you give me this, you get this. Like, she didn't have any recourse. I'm almost certain they paid her because she's not crazy, but there was no guarantee and you had no contract to feel that guarantee. That's bogus for 14 years. Maybe the first year, maybe the first 2 years, but for 14 years, that shows a person doesn't have any respect or doesn't value you. I agree. Say I never liked Ricky because he lit to make fun of my When they were really small. Now he's staying their faces. I bet he do. But you know, that's his stitch. That's right. Yeah, no stability without a contract. That's right. Especially if he handing out contracts to everybody else sitting on there. So let's get into it. Let's finish.
Lives, especially for those who live in Atlanta. You know what I mean? Like when the celebrities would come through the show, like we all love you. So for you, here you are, this little Black woman from Texas. And you get to work alongside some heavy hitters, from Monique to Kim Whitley to Ricky Smiley, right? And
Nene
and Nene Leakes on being a damn elf, right? On Atlanta Housewives.
And Cynthia and everybody.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And was it very difficult for you to walk away from the Ricky Smiley show because did you think like financially, what else is there for me?
Well, I was grinding while I was on the Ricky Smiley Morning Show to make a living then. I was grinding. I was out hosting events and making moves like that. I was traveling every weekend. I was doing something. I was making myself known, making a mark for me. And so, no, I didn't think so. That's how I found Little Women in Atlanta. I was grinding. I heard that they wanted to come to Atlanta, but they didn't have nobody to in Atlanta. And so, but they wanted to branch out Little Women to come to Atlanta. So I found out who the production company was, and I reached out to everybody from the people that worked in the mail clerk room, the CEO. I reached out to everybody that I could reach out with. This before Little Women Atlanta, even they was filming Little Women LA. I reached out to every person that was on that production team, even to the CEO. I sent them everything, my picture, my bio, my resume, everything. They were gonna get tired of me. Y'all gonna reach out to me, and that's how I got in touch with him. He was glad that I got in touch. He was like, "You didn't know that we wanted to come to Atlanta, but we didn't have nobody down there. Will you be my ears and my eyes to help us get that cast connected?" So that's what I did. I helped being their ears and eyes. What I did was I went out and found as many Little Women that I could find and set them up for a Skype interview with them because the production company is in LA. And so they kept interviewing different people. We did different, not reels, but I forgot what they call. But we did the little,
you mean the pilot presentation?
Pilot. Yeah. Yes, we did a couple of pilots for them. But the girls in Atlanta, they was trying to compare the girls that they was interviewing to me. Because you can't be no shy person on side of me, else you're going to get swallowed up. Not bragging, but I'm that girl, okay? So, like I said, it's before Little Women in Atlanta. So they were struggling to find some more girls that would compare or even be able to stand up. So,
baby, I can't wait to find out how we got to these tiny twins, because it's them tiny twins that kept me watching every freaking week. I could not believe that them tiny twins had that much like spunk.
The only person that the last batch that they had found was, God rest her soul, Minnie, was the only one. And because she was the last person that I had sent in. So then they called me, the production company called me and like, hey, we got some girls together. Already got a whole team together in New York. Do you mind going up there, helping us get the New York show on? So we're going to do Little Women in New York. We already got enough girls now, but we need to make it get on.
That was the one that I think they only had one season. That was something happened on there too that was pretty huge. Ooh, that's gonna make me go back and try to find that so I can watch it. Okay.
And do a pilot up there. You can come back to Atlanta, by that time we should have enough girls down there.
Mm-hmm.
So while I was up there filming that, they were still trying to find some more girls for Atlanta. And so I went to New York, did the pilot for New York. They got their pilot on, they got New York on. They found some more girls not from Atlanta, but from different places and moved them to Atlanta to make
the
that
twins.
Show. The twins, which is from Dallas.
Right.
Oh, that's left cheek and right cheek. Left cheek and right cheek, them the twins, and then them tiny twins. I ain't like left cheek and right cheek. They could go here. Whatever. Remember my baby daddy? The one always had her baby daddy was always getting on her nerves. Her baby daddy. I love the way they would say my baby daddy. Juicy was I feel like Juicy was always kind of hazing Minnie. Because Juicy felt like she already explaining it to us. I think Juicy felt like she put them together. And I think she was always trying to keep Minnie in her place. But we're gonna see what she got to say about Miss Minnie.
And then a left cheek and right cheek at the time was from Dallas.
Yeah.
Too. And then Money came from Houston.
Right.
And then later on, we got a beer. Well, I pitched them a beer. Matter of fact, I pitched them a beer when we first started. But at the time, they was like, well, we didn't want no strippers. And so at the time, she's not no more, but at the time she was stripping.
Yeah.
And so they kept sleeping on her. And so anyway,
I know
New York started going, and it came back to Atlanta. I was like, okay, I already got a career in Atlanta with the Ricky Smiley Morning Show, so it don't make sense for me to just get rid of that and just move to New York. Then I have to start all over and find something to do. Breakfast Club was up there, but I know cost of living is up to wazoo up there, and I'm not on that Breakfast Club. It would take forever if I may get on it. And so common sense told me to go back to Atlanta and help them
figure that out.
New York,
figure that cast out.
And I remember us talking, so because I would sometimes be a guest on Ricky's show, and you and I obviously always had a friendly relationship. And I remember you telling me, you said, you watch Little Women. I said, oh my gosh, I love the show. And you said, they may do Atlanta. And I said, Juicy, if you need any advice. And you said, I actually do. And I gave you some advice what to do. And last thing I know, like maybe a year later, it's on the air. And Little Women Atlanta
blew up.
But what was so interesting, though, is this. And I never asked you this. You weren't a main cast member the first season.
Because they weren't going to use me. After I sit there.
New York is very annoying.
And help them do it.
We only had like one season or something, and I can't remember the details because I just remember something real crazy happening. Wasn't Tara on there too? Like, I don't know. It was. I want to go back now because it's kind of bothering me. Like, what was it? I want to know what that was, but they were annoying. I was so glad they didn't come back on.
Because they went and to make the show, they had to bring people from everywhere else. And then the other people that was doing it was like, she's not going to fit in with them.
Was it because of your age? Or did they ever tell you?
Well, it couldn't be because of my age, because the girls in LA was older than me.
Yeah, but what I always thought, because I remember you told me, and I was like, because after it's on the air, I'm like, Juicy, I don't see you on the show. And I think, if my memory serves me, the Atlanta girls were much younger.
Yeah,
And I believe from our conversation, a lot of it Or
they
some of
said
it,
they didn't think I would gel with those girls
Yeah.
or something. They said they
Tara
didn't think we
was
were vibes
definitely a bully. That's what I said at the top. I have a love-hate relationship for Tara. But she was definitely a bully. And she kind of I didn't like how Tanya ran up behind her all the time. Yeah. The New York cast didn't get along. That probably was what it was then. They must have been fighting all the time or something. Because I know it was something that I was just so glad they didn't come back because I couldn't handle it. I couldn't take it.
together. But then when I already knew the girls and I really didn't know them. Like I said, they came, I knew of them.
Yeah.
The only person that came on that show that was actually in Atlanta was Minnie. And that's because, once again, I brought her.
Yeah.
And so, but you got to have substance to be on any reality show. And there's no dig
You
at
gotta talk
anybody
about
to
it.
be on TV. You got to have substance. If you don't have substance and you can't carry it,
Or a personality. Like you have to have a personality. I wouldn't necessarily, I think sometimes we take words and we might misconstrue them. I think using a word like substance, that's insulting. I don't know if you able to tell somebody that their life has substance or not, because what substance to me might not be substance to you or even interesting. But to her point, you have to have a personality. You have to be able to stand on your own. And that's where, just side note, that's the reason why Cynthia would always get that she was up Nene's butt type of um commentary, or that's why people think of her that way. And it's really because Cynthia does not have a personality that is coming in the room, demanding that everybody looks at her. And that's not of an insecurity, what we're saying, because Cynthia is beautiful. And of course, you're going to notice Cynthia if you see her. That's not what I mean. What I do mean is Cynthia is quiet, she's demure, she's gonna just be to herself. She doesn't have a presence that speaks for her. And you do need something like that. To be, I mean, Cynthia does well. She does best as a friend of the show because she doesn't have a presence that speaks for her.
what are you there for? And the show without me,
Dallas was horrible.
when they start filming, the production crew, they realize we need Juicy. We need to do whatever we need to do to get her. So they went back.
I agree with you, and I think we're gonna see what she got to say about her rift with Minnie, and we're just gonna see how she gonna leave it. But I do think that I think she worked very hard to try to keep Minnie in her place. I think she felt Minnie owed her something because she brought her to the thing, and Minnie, I feel like, came out as a fan favorite, because we didn't want, it was funny to watch them fight because they little people. I hate to say that. But nobody really wanted to watch them fight. So Minnie was kind of a person that just played peacemaker. And to their point, what we're talking about now is if she was too old to be with them or older, Minnie fit in with the group, right? She was of a peer status with the rest of the cast outside of Juicy kind of being, like mother hen.
To the main people and say, hey, if we don't hurry up and get her, somebody else gonna pick her up. And so they came back to me with a real contract because the first contract was nothing. They wanted me to come on it paying nothing as a guest. I was like, nope. So I said, I'm not doing it because I'm worth more than that. And so, and I know you need me. First of all, I got the connections and everything. I know everybody and everybody know me. And I was the only one that was doing something. And so, not saying now they all
No, but
popping.
listen, you're the queen of Atlanta.
Exactly.
And at that time,
exactly,
you're the celebrity on the show.
exactly. And so they needed me, period. And so even
Well,
for what
shout
they were
out to
trying to
Juicy
do,
for doing that
the
much.
lie that they were
Even
trying
the Real
to
Housewives don't get paid that much.
expose, they still needed me to do it. And me,
What lie?
they needed me to bring the show to life.
What lie were they trying to expose?
Like somebody had a fake boyfriend.
Oh,
on
that
the
was
show.
Mimi.
Miss
Yeah,
Rest in peace, Miss Minnie. I watched the shit.
Yeah.
It was my show. It was my show.
Of course, it was everybody's show.
I loved it. No, listen, Little Women Atlanta was
but they still needed me to make it.
So I love that. I forgot. I think I'm gonna go back and watch Little Women because I haven't watched it in a very long time. But that was what got me watching Atlanta. Like because I was a little bit behind watching Little Women. I think I was already maybe wrapped up in Housewives universe. But for some reason, the Little Women kind of I slept on them for a little while. But when I did get to it, honey, that storyline with Minnie and the pastor Troy, baby, that was hilarious. I need that just for like comic relief. That might end up being one of my comfort shows. I don't know, at the end of the day. Just for comic relief. That was so, and maybe it shouldn't be funny. I don't know. It was funny to me. Oh, that sucks.
No, so that's why second season you became a full-time cast member. So second season was crazy because that's when it appeared that it was this beef that was between you and may she rest in peace, Miss Minnie.
Yes.
And Miss Minnie Mom. And it was beef between the three of
Chicken.
y'all.
Remember
Where did that circulate from? Was it because you were a full-time cast member? And did they feel like we don't need you? Was her jealousy?
Well, see, it really wasn't no beef with me and her mom, but they had to blow it up to make it seem like it was. They see what it was when everybody was questioning her about what she had told everybody about her boyfriend. You notice when her mom come up was like, "Why are you questioning my daughter? You didn't say that to the other girls because it wasn't gonna give them no substance. Cause you asked one of the other cast members why they question, they gonna forget that tomorrow, or they gonna forget that in 5 seconds. But you pick that beef with Juicy, it's gonna be remembered, and that's what it was. Like we didn't have no beef we didn't have no beef outside the show. We were friends. And so it was like, but on the show, we couldn't stand each other. I'm like, how can we not stand each other when I'm helping you? Even on the show, anybody needed anything, you needed advice or this, that, the other, whatever, I was that girl. From her, from the twins, from the Cheeks, from all of them.
So was the beef between you and Miss Minnie made up?
You want some more juice?
We have... we got berry and lemon and pink left.
I'm getting parched.
Okay, so Miss Dogan, you said you don't think that many... Oh, you do think. I thought you said I don't think. Because I was going to say, if you think she had an envious heart, then yeah. Maybe. Maybe she felt like it should have been her. They definitely had a beef, though. And I feel like when stuff like that happen, it's always... it just sucks. Kind of like what we're seeing with Shamia and Portia on, the season of Housewives. Like, I don't know how many true friendships can last a reality television show. Because I think the very point of that is to is to cause discord. And if you're not going to, protect what you're bringing into that enough to not let the purpose of this show destroy your relationship, then it's going to destroy it. That's why marriages don't, hardly survive reality TV. You got to be thick as thieves, because for sure, you let the public in, for sure, somebody's going to be able to get you to question what you think is your reality, which is sad.
So when Miss Minnie's mother threw the chicken wings in your face,
I didn't know that. I didn't know none of that. I didn't even know her mom was coming. Because if I would have known her mom was coming, I would have called my mama. Think about it.
Right.
Yes. Me and Minnie supposed to have been just talking. And next thing you know, here come her mama.
Her mama
Yep.
is always.
So they had to think of something to do. They had to think of something. That was a brilliant plan, because think about it. If they would have did that scene with anybody else, it would have dropped and stopped right there.
it's literally like the most talked about scene in the history of the show.
Exactly.
So, were you and the other Little Women acting?
That's right.
They didn't know how to act.
Now y'all know.
No. See,
since we watching this, I'm gonna end up going to get I'm gonna go get Moni's videos, because she over there on IG basically spilling the secrets, telling what was real, what's not real. And what did she say yesterday? It was something that, her storyline about losing custody of her son. She was saying that that's not real. So anyway, it's funny that Juicy is saying like them girls couldn't act, but sound like somebody was acting. Say, I don't blame Minnie's mom for having her daughter's back. She felt that way because she was a little person. That's true. That's true. But that lady was big. That lady was big. She ain't had no.
Tell me the deal, girl.
Here's the deal.
Okay.
Like that. She was a bully.
This is where you need to be. They're giving us the location, and they're not telling us what. I mean, they letting us know what it's about. What the scene is going to be about.
Right.
But the stuff is real.
So the conversations,
the content is real, exactly.
But you guys are apping it up because you want to make a good show.
It's not really apping it up because it's natural.
It's natural.
It's natural because those girls really, they didn't know me, but they had animosity towards me. The reason why they had animosity towards me, because behind the scene, when they would have private talk or, before the show started, they thought I was a bad person because this is what they was being told.
By who?
The person that had beef with me on the show.
Miss Minnie. Okay, got it. So, when did you feel like Miss Minnie became jealous of you?
When I first met her, she was like, I idolize you, and I was like, oh, no, don't do that. And I was like, hey, you can do. She said, I idolize you because you're short just like me, and you drive, and we drive the same way. We got a scooter seat all the way up, and you on the Ricky Smiley Morning Show, you doing it, whatever. And I was like, well, sweetie, you can do it too. I said, you know what? Won't you come up here and I introduce you to the cast of the Ricky Smiley Morning Show? I introduce you to everybody, and that's what I did. So every time I went out in the city in Atlanta, I took her with me, and so much, and so it was.
I do have to cut in really quick. Like, okay, Gabby, you said Juicy was always picking on Minnie. I don't see it that way. It looks like we're gonna have to have us a recap of Little Women Atlanta, because I don't think so. I think it was made to seem that way because Minnie had a way of just kind of getting sympathy. because I feel like Juicy is just like she's a straight shooter. So she just wasn't playing coy with Minnie. If I remember correctly, I don't remember thinking that Juicy was picking on Minnie. I don't remember having that thought. You say Minnie's mama was too much, but so was most reality TV moms. That's true. I mean, I just think just like her size and how she would come, because everybody was little people. So it wasn't like, as her mom, it wasn't like you was going to an average size person and taking up for your daughter. You literally was going to the people that was the same size as your daughter. Um, and so yeah, you look like a bully because you too big. Like you too big. I don't blame you. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Welcome, cousin. We are the internet cousins, honey. So welcome to the cousin crew. As soon as you subscribe, you become part of the family. And we are glad to have you, okay? Let's get into the rest of this interview.
It wasn't no beef. I wasn't trying to at all. And so I was like, I don't want you to idolize me. I just want you to get out your head. Think because you little, you can't do it. You can do whatever. And so that's how it was. I'm like, I'm glad I met a short person that, and so I didn't think she was jealous of me. I didn't think that she was trying to be like me at all until other people kept telling me that. But I wasn't seeing it. I was blind to it. And so because I don't look at people like that. So I'm like,
that's how it is when you're a helpful person, though. Like when you're not, like what she's saying is that I didn't have any ill intent, so I had no reason to look at her like she had ill intent. I wanted to help her. I always believed that about Juicy, because when we got introduced to Juicy, as she just said, Juicy was on the Ricky Smiley show already, so she was the celebrity. It made sense to me that Minnie would sit back and listen to this lady. And let's remember that Minnie did start to copy her, because wasn't it? It was something with Ricky Smiley on that show. I'm gonna think about it. Let's get into it.
I'm like, oh, I got a cool friend, whatever, not knowing that, oh, she was trying to be like me. And so I was like, oh, okay, you know. And so that's what it was. Like even another part of scene, another talked about before the wing tossing, when Money threw the drink on me. And she was literally mad at me, had never met me a day in her life because all the things that she was being told about me. And so, yeah.
Because when I was watching the show, it did appear like you were being ostracized and bullied.
Yep.
Having a drink thrown at you,
Yep.
wings thrown at you. And for me, knowing you, I'm like, she's the sweetest person. She's the most giving. Like, there's not one person living in Atlanta. And obviously, this is before the show became worldwide. But my vantage point watching the show, I'm like, everybody loves Juicy. Like,
Why they doing it to her?
You're a girl's girl. You love everybody. Yeah. Everybody loves you. Why are they doing this to her?
To blow them up.
To blow them up.
Yeah.
So,
oh, now Jay, that was not nice. Do you think that karma come back in that way for people? I don't think that's how karma works. But it's okay that I mean, we don't all have to like the same people. Okay. You think I don't know if Miss Juicy is a terrible person. And I don't know that she's a troublemaker. I feel like it's some other people that was on there that was troublemakers. But yeah, I don't think karma comes back and does that. At least I'd like to believe that for everybody's sake. I don't want karma to be coming back and making people sick. Maybe okay, Gabby. You said she might have been sweet before them cameras turned on. You know that red dot do bring something else about you. So you never know. You never.
Miss Minnie and Moni knew coming for Miss Juicy, is going to give us some airtime?
We're going to do this. We're going to do that. They didn't necessarily say throw a drink. They didn't necessarily say this. They just said we need to come for her because we're going to have her to, she wasn't invited to Minnie's birthday party, but we're going to have her to come in, whatever. So I want you to get mad because she's crashing her party. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. So everything was picked on me. And then for somebody to say, telling me I'm mean and I'm jealous of her for what?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm. How long did that show last? Was it like
6 seasons?
I was going to say 6 seasons.
I thought it was.
Did you get raises on that show?
Yes.
Okay. The show became a huge hit.
Mm-hmm.
You're still working at the Ricky Smiley show at the time.
Yes.
Did it for you, did it feel like, excuse me, but for you, did it feel like, okay, like I got something for me. Like I'm not, just a sidekick anymore. Mm-hmm. Like I have something. Because I'm sure when celebrities would come in, they're fans of the show. Mm-hmm. So how was that for you being on this hit show, mm-hmm. but also working on this radio show? Did you feel like finally I'm being recognized?
Well, celebs, even before the show, they was coming in because they had already.
You're right. She really didn't have a storyline. Her storyline always surrounded her son and her parenting. And then her getting married. She said they did get married, but they were pressured to follow through with the marriage. They told them that they had been talking about getting married, and I guess the producers just convinced them to go ahead and do it.
Because, I was in those streets, baby. So, but yes, you are absolutely right. Yes.
It felt good.
It felt really good. Yes.
Yeah. And why did the show leave off the air?
They didn't tell us. They didn't tell us. Lifetime just got tired of it because they didn't take just our show. They took the whole franchise now.
Yeah, they did.
They said we all still had good ratings, The LA was the franchise. And then of course ours was the next top hit. Mm-hmm. So they had already took Dallas off and took New York off. But yep. It didn't make sense. Makes sense for me. I'm like, I could have made a guest appearance on Dallas. I'm from Dallas, and everybody know me in Dallas. I used to take pictures, photography for the Cowboys for all of it. So hey, everybody know me in Texas. But matter of fact, at the time, everybody knew me everywhere because by the morning show being a national syndicated radio show. So
Dallas,
yeah. But I had to I had to swallow my pride for a minute on the Little Women Atlanta. So I had to swallow my pride at first because even though I brought it together, but my lead way to getting on there was basically exposing the truth
relationship.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exposing
That's
the truth.
what made her look
you making up
mean.
a lie about somebody that I know about, that I know. I know his family, I know his girl.
That's what probably made Juicy out to look mean from the very beginning. But Minnie was being delusional about her relationship with that man. Juicy wasn't wrong for that. Oh, yeah, I cannot wait. I had to order me some lunch from Walmart, right? So I was going to order some DoorDash, but I'm trying not to order no more DoorDash. And so I just said, forget it. I'll just order some stuff from Walmart to cook me something really quick. I got some leftover spaghetti. I ate it for 2 days. I don't want it today. Anyway, I ordered some steak, crab legs, and I'm going to make me some steak and crab legs and a baked potato. It's taking a while to get here, and I'm hungry. But I got the notification that my food is on its way. Anyway, I just wanted to let y'all know. Tell me what y'all eating for lunch, or what did y'all eat for lunch? Say Minnie was delulu. Yes, she was delusional about that relationship. And even said that she was pregnant by that man. Right after the girl's son passed, and we didn't want to see him either. If we have to be honest about that, that one girl was ridiculous. I can't remember which cheek she was, but I didn't like her. And of course, it's not the one that was following up behind. It's the one who was running or thought she was running everything. You said, "Can you?" I know that's right. Oh, that's right. Okay, I wish I could. I wish I could. And then guess what, y'all? I'll make sure I'll do a little short or something. Or maybe I'll post it in the community tab. So when I go out later, because my girlfriend just sent me a text about one of the a shadow lounge out where we live has some specials on Tuesday. That's what I told her. I said, well, I am free after 4:30, honey. Let's go grab a couple drinks and a couple, and a nice little appetizer because they got some good food. And let's get back into the interview, y'all.
And his kids, But so yep. And then but then even doing all that, I'm in her ear like, please don't do this, don't do this. But then it was like,
Don't do what?
Don't tell this lie. Don't keep this lie going, because you're gonna be left out on a whim by yourself. You can't do that. The lie gonna have to end eventually. But at that time when people feel like they know more than you, but they haven't been in entertainment at all, but they feel like they know more than you. And so they weren't listening. So yep. And then
real quick, I love how she said, people feel like they know more than you. And I think that's a very generalized way to put it. But I've been putting stuff in perspective lately, and we're just gonna wrap that up to people who don't respect you, right? When they have little respect for you, they're not gonna listen to you. They're not gonna take what you have to say in consideration. So that's like many already didn't really have respect for Miss Juicy, and probably because she thought that it should have been her, right? And then two, she delusional anyway. But I think this interview is saying a lot, and it's not looking that great for many. God rest her soul.
Then later on, as the seasons kept going, I kept doing what I was doing. I was doing more locations. I was doing everything. So I got executive producer end up being executive producer, one of the executive producers for Little Women.
That's great.
Yes, because I was like I was doing my part. I was doing more than my part. I was creating subjects, storylines for different people that didn't have one, getting in touch with the people that we need to get in touch with to be a part of the show or to help us with the storyline. For instance, like the one season we did the rapping because the girls want to rap. I knew Abira already knew how, but we needed something. We need the substance. So I reached out to some people in the industry that can help us out, bring it to life, have a real studio where the girls can go in, practice, and record. So I reached out to them, and so
okay, we gonna really sit up and talk about this like that wasn't a mess. Like they was really doing that stuff, and they wanted us to take that serious. I was confused because I didn't take it serious, y'all. I really didn't.
I didn't want it to be. I didn't want it. This is a reality show. We need real stuff. And so I went out to the tallest people in the industry in Atlanta. You gonna say, but anyway, well, if you know where it was at the studio, and so, hey, I need you. And so when the production went to him, he was like, anything from Miss Juicy, like this. And so what you need studio, you need engineers, you need whatever. So we brought it to life. But again, not bragging on me, but I knew what it took. And so there's times where we were filming that I wasn't even a part of a scene, but to save the scene, I had to be inserted in a scene or think of something to make it live.
Yeah.
Or they would have to scratch it.
Yeah.
So give me my worth.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying. So I didn't know why. Yeah.
Before Miss Minnie passed away, did you two reconcile your friendship?
Oh, when we weren't filming, we were cool. we would go. God rest my soul. I don't drink anymore, but we would go have drinks. Or we would go to Old Charlie on Tuesday and get that free slice of pie.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but even I don't know if y'all noticed the last season that she was on there. We told them before, we were like, we tired of this. We don't every season it's been, let somebody else get into it.
Mm-hmm.
You got a bunch of girls, it's automatically gonna be drama. You ain't gotta make up no drama. You automatically gonna have some drama. Well, let somebody else get into it. Like I told them, I already told them, okay, hey, if they on this show and they can't carry their weight, then you need to get some new girls. That's how I was. Cause we tired of this. And so y'all gonna have to do something. So that's the way it was. But then it was just like so devastating when she passed,
Yeah.
It was just crazy. I don't know if you noticed the last season when the twins that came into my office, we were talking about different things that different people could do to keep going, to keep going on and stuff. So that's what it was about. Yeah, well, we was cool. We didn't, me and her, we really didn't. Now, it was something that sometimes some people don't know how to separate personal from professional. And sometimes those lines did get blurred.
Yeah.
And so, and I kept, again, you can't tell people something that feel like they already know.
Yeah.
And I said, stop taking this personal. Stop taking this personal. I didn't have to be. After we finished filming, I went to my house and I'm chilling. I didn't.
Okay, now I think you brought up a great point, Gabby. Like you said, you think Minnie didn't want to admit. Oh no, excuse me. This is it. You think Minnie did respect Juicy until she kept calling her out. That's what it seems like she's kind of talking about right now. Like, oh, I kept telling Minnie, don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. Yeah, Juicy, you sound like you playing the Dr. Heavenly game. Like, I'm gonna get on this show, I'm gonna air you out and expose you. And then when we done with the show, we're supposed to be friends like none of that ever happened. And I mean, listen, I can separate personal from professional with the best of them. I've been working in a corporate environment since I've basically been able to work. So for 30 some odd years. And I don't take things at this corporate job personal. However, yeah, you ain't gonna be able to play with me in my face like that and then tell me don't take it personal. So that kind of, see, there we go again. When you listening to interviews, this is why we probably gonna analyze a lot more interviews. But anyway, I have a good ability of putting threads together or hearing what's not being said. or whatever. Maybe I jumped to a conclusion. The narcissistic person would tell me I jumped to conclusions, but no, I listen for what you're not saying. And that, so like she's saying a lot, and then these are putting the things together, and now it's making more sense. Minnie was pissed at you because you kept calling her out. You're calling her out because you need y'all to keep getting, getting the viewership. So you telling her, like, girl, it's not that serious. Like, it's just this. And Minnie is not with the bullshit. I get it. Okay. We get it now. I don't know if that makes Juicy a terrible person, but it does make her not telling the
It
truth.
hanged it like that. I mean, again, I was older. Yeah. You didn't have no money. You weren't finna see me out. So, you know what I'm saying? You stay in the club so much, those people ain't gonna pay to see you. So y'all have to pay to see me. I'm sorry, because I'm special.
I know, that's right.
Okay, let me cut in real quick, because I made a joke about Ashanti in that same thing. If y'all pay attention, when Ashanti is doing little stuff with Nelly, they go out to these clubs, she get on that stage, and she sit up and give y'all the same 1-2 that she about to go to, I don't know whose arena, because I'm not paying for a ticket to see her. But and goes and does that on the stage. And I literally said, this was a few weeks ago, I think I have a video up with that, but I literally am asking people to tell me who are the people that's buying the tickets, because there's no way in the world I'm buying a ticket to come see you at an arena, and I can go to the club, pay $20 and see you do that same 1-2 step. Tell me what club she gonna be at the next time. If I want to see her, I'll see her there.
No, one thing I love about you is your confidence.
Oh, yes.
You've always had a healthy dose of confidence. And the show comes to an end. You leave the Ricky Smiley morning show. You did battle with a health issue that became public. So a lot of people at one point was like, Miss Juicy is dead. And I'm sure you saw, like, a lot of people thought you were dead. You did suffer a stroke.
Yes.
Okay. Talk to me about that, when that happened and what was going on.
Right before I did that, I had just shot a movie with Country Wayne and Carl Payne. And then I had the stroke. I had a double brain bleed aneurysm.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Oh, Lord.
Yep. And so.
What year was this?
22.
2022.
Mm-hmm. Yep, 2022.
What happened when you realized, like, because obviously strokes are very different for different people. So, like, what was your situation?
It was a mixture of things between blood pressure and not getting enough rest, not taking care of myself,
When you had the stroke, were you by yourself? Were you at home? Or?
I was at home. Like I said, I had a double brain bleed. They thought I had hit my head, but I didn't. I was at home, and I was having a real, real bad headache for a couple of days. Didn't know. And I was just thought it was a regular headache that I just couldn't get rid of. And at that time, I was BC powder. I just take one of those and think.
What's that?
A BC powder, like goody powder. I don't take them no more. I'm just saying.
Is it drug?
I think the powder that she's talking about, that's so funny. So my cousins used to have that powder. It's like this little packet. And baby, when somebody handed it to you, you are going to think that they handed you like something, like some cocaine or something. Ooh, I don't know if I can say that. Excuse me. But you're going to think they giving you a white substance that you're supposed to digest a different way. Not that I do anything like that, but that's what I thought when she had. Anyway, but it's an aspirin chopped up in a powdered form that you take, and a lot of people use it before they start drinking to avoid hangovers. Anyway, listen. I wanted to get to this, Miss Gabby. If only Beyonce did club appearances, baby, Beyonce would never. But what I am going to tell you, Miss Gabby, is if you ever get the opportunity to go see Miss Beyonce, please do. And please understand that Beyonce is going to spoil it for everybody else, because once you go see Beyonce and see that top tier performance, you are not going to accept anything less. I'm telling you, I have seen Beyonce perform 5 times. And I can't wait till in 2 years when it's time for the next concert, next tour. Can't wait. I'll be there for that one too. You say you love you some Ashanti. Ashanti cool and everything. I'm just not paying no money to go see that girl perform. Maybe if she get us a new record, like, yeah, like, can we get an updated set list at least? It looks like ground up Tylenol. Yep, and it's nasty. That's right, it's nasty. But listen, but it come in that little folded up paper, and baby, I was like, what is this? What is this that you're trying to give me? Because I don't play no games, baby. Don't you be trying to offer me none of that funny stuff. Yes, Beyonce is on the bucket list. So listen, we're gonna send good vibes. We're gonna send good vibes, because I'm telling, the tours are every 2 years. So you see she on tour right now. Try to prepare for 2027 for the next tour to be about 2027. Um and kind of start off with it. I've been to 5 concerts. I've not paid more than $250 for my ticket. I'm telling a story. This concert is the first concert I paid more than $250, but it was only $300. And I had great seats. And I do say only $300 because for me, I'm willing to pay that to go see Beyonce. And every second of the show was amazing. As a matter of fact, I might do a live just to talk about that, because I was at the Chicago concert that we had to wait 3 hours before it even started. I did not get to the hotel. Me and my son didn't get to the hotel till 3 o'clock in the morning that day, but it was worth every minute. Let's get back to this. Let's get back to this interview. Okay. But yeah, I'm with her on that.
Drugs?
No, it ain't no drugs.
What's the B? I take BCAA.
I just phone it. It ain't no drug.
What does it do? Miss Juicy, what's the BC powder, child? I used to say BCAA because I work out. It ain't that though, right?
No, it's like a Tylenol. It's worse.
Okay.
It's worse than that. But anyway, it's just say it's like a Tylenol already crunched up.
Okay.
So it's easy to swallow. So I would always just pop one of those, thinking that it's just a headache. And so it was happening for like 2 or 3 days, and I was having this headache. What's going on? Didn't know. And then one day I was getting ready to do something, and the headache got so bad. I was like, you know what? I was finna. Matter of fact, I had got in the car, and then something like, you better stop. So I backed the car back up in my driveway. I was trying to get it in my garage, but I just stopped in my driveway, and I was like, I got to go in and take a nap. And so I went in the house and I called one of my neighbors and say, hey, it seemed like everybody around me, they always either nurses or doctors where I stayed at. And so, and how next doors and everything. So I called one of my neighbors that's a nurse, a doctor, whatever. And tell her, hey, I'm feeling this headache, whatever. I want you to check on me or whatever. I'm gonna lay down, whatever. She said, if it's feeling too bad, you better call 911. I said, girl, I can't call 911. They be up in my house and so forth. Ain't no telling. You can't just trust anybody in your house. I call the ambulance and they come over here. I say, come down here. I'll call them, but you need to come down here. Or when you get here, you call them. Either way. And she said, well, if it's feeling that bad, call them. And I was like, okay. Are you coming? Well, you call them. And so I went and I just laid down on the, I was scared to go to sleep. So I just laid down on my stairs.
And your head was pounding.
It was pounding. and I just laid down on my stairs and so forth. And then I don't know how long it took her to get there. She said about 40 minutes later, 45 minutes later, whatever. She came and she rang the doorbell, and I thought, I don't know, when she rang the doorbell, instead of going to the front door, and I was right by the front door, I went to the garage door because you could get in through my garage. I went to the garage door, and she said she heard the garage door come up. Mm-hmm. So she said she went around there, and as soon as she got around there, I just dropped.
Wow.
She said I just dropped. And
there though, and that nothing like that happened while nobody was there to get to her or to see her. Now listen, I had to pause real quick so we can talk about this. That there is no Beyonce slander on this community, okay? And Miss Dogan, we gonna give you a pass. It's a small pass, right? Because you salute her for her accomplishment. You at least have to do that. I agree. I do question people who don't like Beyonce. Like I kind of question their thought process. Decision making abilities. And really just, like just how abundant they are in life in general. Like I feel like people who maybe don't like Beyonce might be a little mediocre. However, I'm okay with people not liking her music, okay? But I think that if you can't deny what she is in this industry, especially after a Michael Jackson. So I think so for me, don't listen to her music. Maybe you don't have any thought to want to go see her in tour, but don't downplay what she does for the culture and for entertainment in general. Because I think she's an awesome entertainer. She is amazing. And it's almost like it does feel like you in a cult because it's almost just unbelievable to be able to see that performance just go off flawlessly for the most part. And with everything going on, and then the kids and it's just amazing. Oh, and the messages. That's another thing. The messages that she's seeing. So that's another thing. We cannot let her not be acknowledged for just the small bits that she tries to add into her tours, her music, everything that kind of pulls Black people back into the forefront, right? So the whole cowboy Carter, while a lot of people, are really like, oh, Beyonce's trying to be white and she this and that. And it's like, it has nothing to do with that at all. It's more about paying homage to the culture and the culture of Black cowboys and what they meant to country music, because now there is a genre that is obtained by mostly white folks, and she just wanted to let us know that that's not how it started. And she's done a great job with it. She's done a great job with putting references in different places. When the best reference she did, and I always was a Beyonce fan, but baby, I just knew this is when I started questioning people's judgment about Beyonce, was when she did the Coachella performance, Homecoming. Because for her to be the first Black headliner at that festival, and for her to decide to emulate an HBCU homecoming performance, that's for the culture. Think about it. 2 years later, we had our first vice president be a HBCU graduate. That didn't happen by circumstance. Like visualization, presentation, all of it, A1. So, Miss Dogan, you on thin ice, girl. But Beyonce is everything. And see, and now that makes sense why you like Ashanti. See what I'm saying? Your mom is an RN. Okay, that's nice to be able to have somebody to call, just to kind of say, hey, like, should I be worried about this? But one thing, I'm a medical biller. I'm not a clinician, so I don't have information the way that a clinician would. But what I will say in general, just because I've worked in close proximity with family doctors, um, when it comes to your head, your chest, and your stomach, same for babies, those are not things you really want to play a lot with. And of course, with your stomach, like, you should know the difference between like gas, right, and something else. But those are, and even when you go to an emergency room with symptoms that surround those three things, they shouldn't play with that. And that's because those things happen in those areas that you don't know and you can't see until you kind of get to an x-ray machine or get to something that can locate what the problem is. So that's why her neighbor probably did give her that type of advice, like, hey, you probably need to call somebody, because if you're telling yourself this is not a regular headache, then it's not a regular headache and you need to get somewhere. So I agree with you. Luckily, she did call out to that neighbor and she did ask that neighbor to come down, because, like, right, she passed out and don't know, like, what if that had happened and she hadn't told anybody? How long could it have been before somebody even, decided to check on her? So that was God. That was divine intervention. And I agree, it had to be scary.
And then she went on and called 911 and so forth. And so, and they rushed me to the hospital. Um, I was in Douglasville at the time, whatever. They rushed me there, I think Cobb County or whatever. And people was acting a fool when they found out, because it was on CNN that I was dead and whatever, and people acting a fool. Matter of fact, somebody at the hospital um, put out information, told them, was saying something. I think there was a HIPAA law, but they wasn't supposed to be saying that, and they did. Somebody in the emergency room found how the people found out where I was, and so they had to care flight me. I didn't even know. I couldn't even.
Were you conscious throughout all this?
They
Now I don't know where you can do a free course. When we finish with the interview, remind me. We'll talk more about it because I'll find out. Let me know what city you're in. But I can give you two. I can give you two of the organizations in which you would get certified to be a coder. So billing, you don't need a certification for. Coding, you do need a certification, in which you would have to take a test. And actually, it is something you could self-teach, but you do need medical terminology. So with that being said, you would want to find a course, because that course is going to go through medical terminology with you. Um, but AAPC is one. That's one organization that certifies coders, and that's nationally recognized. So that anywhere you are in the U.S., if you have a certification under AAPC, it should be acknowledged. And then there's another one, AHEMA is what we call that. That's based out of Chicago. And the certifications is for AHEMA is a CCS, which is a certified coding specialist, and AAPC is a certified professional coder. Um, there is differences between those two, and I can get more into that. But let's finish this interview, and those you can kind of Google either one of those to get information about the courses that they offer through them.
They had to put me in a medical induced coma.
Oh,
yes. Yes, they had to put me in a medical induced coma. So I'm telling you this from what people
people told you.
Yeah, what my family told me.
Was your last memory just opening. What is your last memory the day you had the stroke? Was it just sleeping, resting on the staircase? Do you remember going? You don't remember going to the garage? You don't remember doing that? So your last memory just being on the staircase. And then the next thing you know...
No, I remember going to the door, open the door, yes.
Okay, and then obviously you
and then I just
collapsed. And then you got rushed to the hospital. How long were you in the coma?
I don't know. They put me in a medical induced coma. I don't even remember getting care flighted to a whole nother hospital. I had went to a whole, because I had a trauma to the head. Yeah. They had to take me to the one
based on you falling. I mean, obviously you had the brain injury,
yeah,
which caused a headache, but you also collapsed too. Do you know if you fell on your head?
I don't.
You don't know. You don't know.
She didn't say I fell on my head.
Yeah.
She said I just fell like this, and I just dropped. And so then I went to, like I said, they care flighted me to Kennerstone, went out there, and I was out there for like a month and whatever. I didn't have no memory. They had to, when I finally came to in the hospital, I couldn't swallow. Yeah. So they had to put a tube down, and then put a tube too big. No, I'm not an infant, but I have a little torso, so we still got to use infant tubes. So, but it messed up my voice box a little bit and put it down too big. So I had to get a peg inserted in my stomach to hold the tube so I can get my medicine and eat. Because I had to learn how to swallow. Yeah. And learn how to talk and walk all over again.
You had to go to physical therapy?
Oh, yes. As soon as they told me I couldn't have no solid food, it was time for me to get up out of that hospital. I said, I don't care what y'all got to teach me to do. But I hurry up, yeah. Yeah, I had to go do all that over. But God is good. Yes, because they wasn't expecting me to make it. But, I know I was in the hospital praying and everybody else was praying too. God, I don't know what it is you're trying to show me, you're trying to teach me, but I'm listening. My eyes is open and my ears is open. So, hey, tell me what you want me to do. And so, yeah, what it is. I'm here. I am here. Look, hey, I went through a trauma, but look, it's a blessing. It's a blessing also. One thing I learned through everything, even if it's bad, guess what? You can learn a lesson from it. Mm-hmm. Everything that happened don't necessarily got to be bad. I am here to testify, to tell people, hey, you still can live and go. And to know that now sometimes I get sad about it, especially now when I try to sing. I used to sing all the time on the Rick's Mom Morning Show, and I'm like, I sound horrible now, but I still try. But
you sound beautiful. Yeah. We do miss you singing Kelly Rowland's motivation.
You know what? And then what's so bad about it? When I first did this song, they called her and let her know. I think she was overseas. They said, Juicy done took your song, girl.
And made it your own.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then she hit me up on social media. Like they said, she done took your son. I said, baby, this our song. We're going to have to do this. We're going to have to motivate each other together, okay?
Yes. Have you heard from her about that song? About your cover?
When it first came out, yeah.
What did she say? What did Kelly Rowland say when she saw you do motivation?
I love her. Oh, my goodness. She know I do. Yes.
Did she give you, like, some compliments?
And she was like, you go, girl, because I think it was... oh my God, Michelle is the one that called and told her.
Oh, Michelle. So Michelle called Kelly Rowland.
Yeah, told her, yeah. Juicy done took your son, girl.
Look, the fact that, listen, sorry for tearing up.
Oh,
it's just,
you're fine. You're fine.
The thing is this, you are here.
Yes.
A lot of people don't make it after a stroke.
Yes.
A lot of people aren't the same after one.
Exactly.
I mean, because I've known you for a long time, so you're the same to me. Meaning I could not tell you had one. Mm-hmm. So you are a pillar of strength.
Exactly.
And you are, hey, Kelly Rowland, motivating a lot of people. So what advice would you give people, like, when the results came back, you had a stroke, do you know what caused it? Like, what advice do you want to give people to prevent them from having one too? Is it, because now you're a vegetarian, you do a lot of juicing, that's why we're having juice here, but like, what advice would you give people, especially our community?
I'm a vegetarian then. Okay. But the deal is take care of yourself. Don't overexalt yourself. Always take self-care, self-love. That's taking care of yourself. And always take care of yourself. I mean, inside and out. Don't miss you for a moment.
That's right.
If you got time to do it for this person or that person, do it for you.
You better
do it for you first. Because if there's no you, then you can't help nobody else.
Yep.
Yep.
So what's next for you, girl? Like, you still thriving, you got all this energy. Do you want to get back in radio, get back on television? I mean, a lot of people watch reality with the King, baby. So pitch yourself the way you pitch the entire cast of Little Women Atlanta, baby.
I'm the queen of Atlanta, boo, and wherever I go, baby, you better believe it. The juice is here, okay? And the juice is loose, and I'm ready to work, okay?
Not the juice is loose! Do you want to get back on reality TV?
Baby, reality, sitcoms, movie, you name it. I am ready. Ready bigger than ever, honey. And I still got my spunk and all this energy and all the juices is coming your way, baby. And we didn't finish our juice.
Well, we're going to do that too. But the thing is this. Do you have a man now who's juicing you?
Do I have a man now?
Look at you.
No,
Are you dating?
I am dating.
Okay.
So when the right one comes along, then we'll make it official.
How do you meet men?
The right one need to come for me because I'm not looking for nobody. You forgot I'm the queen. You come to my doorstep, okay?
Okay, if he's watching, what type of man do you like? What's your type?
Tall.
Well, honey, I'm 5'9", so I'm tall. How tall, Juicy?
What?
Look,
okay. Well, we got...
Look, this tall. I'm too short. I'm too short. So you want 6 feet and above. Okay.
Well, okay, here's the deal. I don't want to do that because I already did it, sorry. Okay, I want a nice, respectable young man.
How young?
I prefer tall.
Okay.
But I had a crush on somebody that was shorter than my typical person. But anyway, I prefer 6.
6 feet and above.
Yes.
Okay.
But if they treated me with respect and like a lady and a queen that I am, then if they're smaller.
Okay, can we just talk about it real quick? Juicy, baby, like you gonna be single for a long time because you want somebody 6 feet or above, and so does every other woman walking this planet. Girl, who gonna have the short people? Who gonna have the short men? But then, and here's the other part to that. The tall tree, would you say she like trees, Gabby? The tall tree gonna have to want somebody who 4 foot. And that could just have some weird dynamics. I know she's an adult. I know she's just a little person, and I'm not trying to sound ignorant, but the dynamics just, I don't know, look crazy. That's all. That's just what came out my mouth and on my head. But all I'm saying is, Juicy girl, you about to be single forever because everybody want a 6 feet or over man. Hello. She said she just said she's single, sir. Right. What you say? Carlos don't want anything Juicy has. Carlos just be nosy, honey. Carlos is just trying to get the tea. Uh-oh. Did he snag it? I didn't see it. I didn't even notice it.
Than 6 feet, that's fine.
Okay.
But they can't be as small as me because I'm short enough for me and him both, so I don't need no short man.
Okay.
I like to climb that ladder, baby.
What you gonna do after you climb it?
Oh, God.
It's a good Christian show.
So look, okay. So you want to get back on TV, get back in movies, do all of those things. She's available. Miss Juicy is back, okay? And we want her to know she is loved. Thank you so much, Miss Juicy. This means the world to me. You know, I love you so much.
I love you
and
too.
I'm so happy that you are here and you're more spunkier and spicier than ever. I love you so much. I really do.
Well, I love you
I
too.
really, really do. And I'm so proud of you. So proud of you. All right, so let's take our last shot.
Okay.
Let's do the berry and lemon and pink.
That's not the last one. We got 2 more.
Girl, I can't take no more of this.
Why? I take them all the time.
To the comeback of Juicy.
Okay.
Yes! Thank you, Miss Juicy.
Ooh. I got teased so much, Carlos.
All right, guys. That was a really good interview, don't you think? Yeah, that was cute. And here's the thing when it comes to Miss Juicy, nobody has went and got Miss Juicy or any of the Little Women for that matter to interview them. Um, now this is gonna sound sad for me to say. It's almost like their stitch on Lifetime was that of just being caricatures of themselves. Because it feels like nobody took them serious as reality stars because they got off the show and it's like boom, they never existed. Um, so so it was good to have him sit down with Juicy, do that interview. I got to learn a lot more about Juicy than what I ever known, and it gave me nostalgia about the Little Women show. Like, yeah, I kind of missed them, and it sucks that they didn't come back. But maybe if we remember that last season again with Minnie passing, it did feel like that we just didn't know where they would go as far as a group, storylines, all that in general. You say who the short men gonna have? Yeah, like right. What somebody gotta have like she's 4 feet tall. It doesn't like that's crazy that you would require a man be 6 feet. Your man literally could be 5'7". Like, what would be wrong with that? Like the little people should be going after the 5'7" and the 5'5s, because there's men out there that are their size. And like I'm a 5'7" woman. I'm not dating a man that's 5'5". I'm not dating a man that's 5'7". I am 5'7". So leave the 6 feet men for the 5'7" and up. Okay, Miss Juicy? But it's all scarce out here. So she might just want to take what she can get. Is that man treat her right? Say I don't get watched really short. I know. I know. It's just really, I don't know. It's all balanced. I think for women, I think women want men to be taller than them because it presents like a protectiveness, I think. It, for me, for me, that's how I feel. I think I feel like if I date somebody who is 5'7" or a little bit shorter than that, I'm gonna probably be taken up for you. I'm gonna feel like I gotta fight with you or for you, like, because I ain't necessarily thinking you're gonna be able to handle it on your own. You say 6 feet men don't want women under 5'7". I would think so. I would hope not. Now, and that's funny. So let's think about Little Women Atlanta really quick. So remember the girl they went and got no, what was her name? I think it was Tanya. Remember she had the baby daddy, like she had that weird situation with her kid's father, like they was together or maybe not. I can't even remember the details because she ended up dating somebody else. She just was a real loose girl, it seemed like. But anyway, what I'm getting to is the girl is pregnant again because she was certainly a fertile myrtle. I think her and the baby daddy wasn't together, but they kept having babies, or she found out she was pregnant by the man, and then she ended up dating another guy. But it was the guy she was dating was taller than her. And there's this scene, I just will never forget the way he picked her up. And she just had her little legs swinging. Yeah, all of that was cringy and strange. And I thought, you are a grown woman. Like, why would you want that man to did he carry her? He like picked her up and did he put on his hip like she was a baby? It was just really cringy and weird. And so I never understood why a little person who is an adult would even want somebody to behave that way or treat them that way. Because it just feels icky. Something feel like wrong about it. No, they all do. They all do. Yeah, like she was a toy, Gabby. It was like that's what I'm saying. Like she was some like little doll, and she just, she just had it. Like she just was for it, and her little legs swinging. I'm like, girl, you are weird. So was she at least my perception is that she probably allows men she probably date men who have fetishes about Little Women. That's what I'm gonna get to. I don't even need to go all off into this roundabout detail. That is all what I'm boiling down to, is that she probably dates men that has some sort of weird sick fetish. And that's gross to me. That is gross. Okay, so guys, I'm so glad we got to catch up midday. And we got to watch this interview. Yeah, that's exactly what it seemed like. And Miss Dogan, so about the coding certification. So I gave you those two outlets to kind of check. I know that AAPC, AHEMA, I don't think offers any courses. They probably only offer like continuing education. So check with AAPC because I know for a fact that they have an online course. They have like a study, like you can self-study course. And then too, you might can check out some stuff on YouTube. YouTube is a fountain of information. And what I mean is like you could probably like buy coding books, and maybe so this goes back with going to the AAPC, because there you can purchase like practice exams, you can get the books, and excuse me, you might can find something on YouTube that is like a training session that kind of showed you, because like one thing about like coding and about most things that take like skill is that you have to practice at it. So like just because you learn to code doesn't mean necessarily like, oh, I got it, right? You kind of gotta it's a working knowledge thing. Like you're gonna learn what codes are correct and what codes are not. Like, and this is kind of more so getting into after you get certified, like more into your job. So for the most part, everything is pretty technical. Thank you, Gabby. I appreciate it. Welcome to the family, cousin. Welcome to the family. I'm thinking we're gonna probably because tomorrow. Oh, that wait. Let me finish that train of thought. I think I did finish that. So yes, check with AAPC because you might can maneuver some different ways, and then with where you are. You can go on Google and then just start kind of Googling like certified coding programs in my area because you might find that there could be a hospital that might offer the classes and the courses. A lot of times places like that, like there's a place here in Indiana that offers a course. I think it's 12 weeks, something like that. So just use some of those and keep me posted about if you get to do so. Hey, are you still at work? Um, I don't know why I've been getting these random calls, these random text messages from like random numbers. So like yesterday, I got one that was like, "Did you eat yet?" And I'm like, "Well, who is this?" I don't know why I responded, but they're like, "Oh, they gonna actually respond and tell me their name, like I knew they who they was." I'm like, "Go find somebody else to play with and block them." Okay. Oh, even I'm texting my girlfriend. I was telling her about using Chat GPT and she finally downloaded it. So she's like, I'm getting used. I'm telling her, you'll get used to it. I say, just ask it things you want to know. But my girlfriend, she likes to try different recipes. So I'm gonna give her a project to do with the chat GPT. I'm gonna tell her to go take a picture of her fridge or pull out some stuff and then ask chat GPT to give you a recipe or give you something to make. Um take a photo inside your fridge and ask for a recipe. Go to the water. Okay, honey. Okay. So yeah, do those things. Keep me posted. Keep me posted if you find a program and if you get started. I am, like I say, I'm a medical biller. I actually am not a certified coder, and it's the funniest thing is that I have been going back and forth about being a certified coder. I have spent money. I have wasted money because I have paid to go and take my test and did not go take the test, which is horrible, right? But listen, sometimes fear and your own insecurities just hold you back in places where they shouldn't. And that's been one of mine. It's been an Achilles heel because I took that test a long time ago, but I failed it. And oh shit. I just never got back. I never got the confidence back to want to go take the test again. Even though I feel like I know what I'm doing. And y'all, I failed that test by one freaking point. One freaking point. That's why I was just devastated. Because I'm like, oh my God, like y'all could have just gave me the points. Come on. So, but listen, it's kind of I'm in the position where it's necessary for me to go ahead and get this done. And so I think I'm finally ready to go ahead and do it. So yeah, keep me posted. And then what I am going to do, we're going to get ready to end this session. I loved everybody's commentary. Thank you, Gabby, for joining the team. Welcome to the Cousins crew. Of course, we talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta, other shows. I'll be incorporating some new content because I have a business, BRANDIJENAE Beauty, and I'm in the process of rebranding and just kind of actually getting my brand together about what I want that to be. So I'll be kind of incorporating more videos about that. And really, and I'll just give you a synopsis. BRANDIJENAE Beauty, I love all things beauty in addition to housewives and reality TV. I have been a Mary Kay consultant for quite some time, and I am going to talk about my experience as a Mary Kay consultant, but primarily, what I want my beauty brand to really encourage is the blend between healing and building, and also just being beautiful from the inside out. So even though a lot of times, of course, being a Mary Kay consultant, that's about your skin, makeup, that thing. But beauty just doesn't just happen on the outside. It happens from the inside. And sometimes we got to get those insides clean, so we can show up and look the way we want to look on the outside. And I've been on this journey that's kind of come full circle for me. And I'm just ready to share it out loud and share it with other women. And hopefully, it can help somebody else. And they don't have to go through some of those, trials that I went through. I can be helpful to somebody and also help myself at the same time, because I think another thing we get caught up in is thinking that we have to have it all together and that we have to have all the answers. At least that held me back for a long time. But now what I realize is that I don't. Like, it's okay to share while you're learning. And it's okay. Like, you can most certainly encourage people while you're, building. So, like, my business is not exactly where I want it to be, but it's getting there. And I just want to encourage other people to do the same. Okay. So that's just kind of letting you know some more about what to expect. But right now we are doing a lot of housewives content and a lot of reality TV and different shows for the live. You say, but I do get recipes. Wait, you do get your recipes from there? I think a friend of mine has said that before. Like, she only had a few things in her fridge, so she said she took a picture of it and let Chat GPT give her like some suggestions about what she could make. And she did. She made something and it came out cool. How do you get biller jobs? So, now here's what's gonna be funny about it, Miss Dugan. I've been at my company that I work for now. I've been there about almost 8 years. So I've not had to look for a job for a long time. And I am not sure what you use to look for a job today. I don't know if it's Indeed. I don't know if it's LinkedIn. My first suggestion would be that you probably just seek out doctor's offices, or maybe billing companies, and then kind of apply that way. So the company I work for now actually bought out the company I was hired into. So the company I was hired into was an actual facility. So that's probably the easiest way, is just to go to the different, if you have, so Ascension, right? If that's, that name, because I think we do have a market in Tennessee. Um, Something like that. You would go to Ascension and you would go to their careers. So, if you have a St. Vincent or, Providence, whatever the name of your healthcare systems in your area would be, just search for those and go to their careers and then see. The billing jobs are usually worded because it's not just going to say generally. Sometimes it depends. It might say, hey, we're looking for a biller. It might be that clear, but a lot of times the jobs might look like AR. It might look like self-pay. It might look like data entry, especially as you're starting in like coming into a company outside of being a coder. If you get a certified coding position, then you are going to apply for coding positions, and that's it. You're not going to be a biller as a coder, because they don't even get paid the same. But that's about how you would do that. Like say they're gonna look like AR, which is accounts receivable, patient self pay, or patient access rep, or like stuff like that. Those type of wordings would fall under a medical billing category. You generally, like say, just coming in as a biller, you probably start off in a registration area, which is kind of cool. Again, it's going from the bottom up, but registration really is the bottom of the barrel where billing is concerned, because that's where all of the information is being gathered that you get throughout the billing process, outside of whatever the doctors have to enter into a patient's file. So learning that step, just kind of helps you throughout everything else, because you can identify a problem with something where a biller is concerned from that area, and before it gets to the place where it's gone to the insurance carrier and they have to deny it because the patient's date of birth was wrong, or like something silly like that. So I hope that helps. But again, you can ask me anytime. I'll give you as much information as I'm able to give. And like I said, I think I will be preparing to take my my coding certification at some point. I'm not really sure exactly when. I haven't decided the course, if I want to take a course or if I want to just take the test. Um, I'm kind of going back and forth, but I am also wanting my company to pay for that for me. So I'm kind of looking into that first also, because I already wasted my money. Okay. Let me go ahead and let them pay for it. And the irony to that is I'll probably actually do it. Ain't that nothing? God be working with me. He be working with me. But thank God that all things work to good. So even some of the bad things that happen, I am so glad that God can use these things and make them good. Okay. So just remember that. Remember that, y'all. Even if today, if you're having a bad day, just remember that all things can be used for your good. For those who believe in Jesus Christ, okay, I let me add that in, because that's important also. So you better be a believer, and if you are, then you can believe that. Okay. So I'm gonna get off of here really quick so I can go put my steak in the air fryer and start my crab legs. And we're gonna come back and do another live, and we're gonna do another interview. We're gonna listen to another interview. We're gonna listen to Cynthia and Crystal, right? Cynthia and Crystal. Crystal is from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. They have a podcast, Humble Brag, and we know that Cynthia was on Nene Leak's show, right, on her YouTube. So Cynthia asked Nene to, return the favor. We ain't mad at it. One back scratch the other. So Nene is over on Cynthia's podcast, Humble Brag. This will be the first time that I'm even listening to that podcast. I hate to admit it, but it's true. And that's really because I don't care for Crystal. I didn't like her on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and so I can't spend a lot of free time listening to her either. Even though I listened to the interview she did with Carlos King, she got on my nerves there too. Anyway, Crystal is a know-it-all, and Crystal is a know-it-all. And she is so unaware of herself, because being a know-it-all about minority stuff in a room full of minorities, you look crazy. That's all. That's all. That's it. That's that. She went over there to the Beverly Hills ladies trying to educate them when Garcelle is sitting there. Like, how, like, she is of Asian descent, but somebody of Asian descent trying to explain to somebody else like a black experience, like, cut it out. And that's the thing. Like, I'm gonna tell y'all this about Carlos King. I gotta do a short on him because I got really pissy with him on that Breakfast Club interview. Well, I got triggered. Let me take the word pissy back and use the correct word. It was triggered. I was triggered because Carlos does this thing with the housewives specifically, and that's because, and I get it, he shares this bond. So when he's doing his interviews, he taps into the fact that they have this bond. All right, and that the bond that he has gotten him into information that other people wouldn't have, right? Specifically where women are concerned. And listen, Carlos is a black gay man, okay? But when he gets into his let me tell you about women bag, that's one of them bags I could jump through the doggone TV screen and choke him. I am so sick of men walking around thinking they can tell women how women behave, what they like, or how they should be. And he's so passionate about it. And listen, I know that it's not coming from a malicious place. I know that he feels attached, right, to women. He feels attached to women. He feels attached to our story because he's played such a role in telling it, especially black women, that he gets in spaces like the Breakfast Club. And when he's talking to other men, he becomes, for lack of a better word, like a spokesperson for women. And women are sitting in the room. You know, I can't get with that. And I want somebody to pull Carlos, excuse me. I want somebody to pull him to the side and let him know, you got to figure out a different way to be an ally in that sense, because and that's why I say it's a trigger for me, because I do feel like women are under attack, black women especially. And when I say attack, what I mean is, like, if we're not being diminished as if we're nothing at all, then the things that are being celebrated about us are being celebrated by other people and not by us, right? You say, "So I rethink a lot alike." Oh, we think a lot alike. I know Carlos slander. I'm not really trying to slander Carlos. I'm really not. That because I like Carlos. Like, I like Carlos, and I am here for him in everything that he's doing in this space, right? I don't know if he would like this, but I know I was one of the first people to, and I don't think any other person has referred to him this way. So it is just me. But I referred to him in my mind and in my circle as the black Andy Cohen, and I called him out on that first season of Bell Collective. My reviews of Bell Collective are not on this channel because that previous page had gotten taken from me, but I was with Carlos from not just the very beginning where housewives are concerned, but I mean when he left housewives and started to branch off and do his own thing with Kingdom Reign. I'm here for it. I'm pumping him up. But what I don't like him thinking he can speak for women. I want him to take a better account of how he shows up in that space. Well, or maybe it's just me. Maybe I just don't like it. Because I don't know. Maybe y'all don't agree with me about that. Just say he think he's helping. Okay, yeah, and right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not even trying to down him in the way of like you. So I know that he's just being over explanatory. I know he feels, like he has a duty to protect, right? Because he's been in the space, he's been in close proximity with women. He has information that men don't have about women, primarily because he is gay. So women will say things, share things, get undressed. You see, Meg the Stallion is being sued right now for having intercourse in front of what, a dancer of hers or something. And like the judge said, probably did that because that person was gay. And I'm not saying if that's okay or not. What I am saying though is having that information does not give you the license to be able to speak for Black women as if it's your own. Because, sir, you are not a Black woman. I don't give a doggone how many you put on TV. I don't give a good doggone how many you around, how many days, hours, weeks, months, whatever you spend your time with. You are a Black gay man. And I want to hear your perspective, not a regurgitated version of, this Black woman you emulating. And maybe that's too far, but that's just how I feel. He do it with men too. He thinks that all dudes are supposed to be like his dad. And so you're understanding that feeling, right? Because he sits as this Black gay man, he has this way of presenting that he has the inside scoop on both men and women. And it's a no dog. I'm okay with listening to his perspective as a man. The reason why I'm okay listening to his perspective as a man is because you are, right? Gay or not, that's what you are. In my opinion, I don't think making a person being gay, it's not my opinion that makes him any less of a man. So I would listen to a gay person talk about being a man. I don't want to listen to a gay man talk about what women really want, is what women really like. Boy, sir, if you want to know what a woman wants, why don't you go ask one? See that? Now I'm about to go off on them because the more I think about it, the more irritated I'm gonna get. But yeah, that, like, for me, that's it. That's it. And I just don't like. I don't like that. I don't like that. But I do go up for Carlos. So it's not to slander him at all. I would like for him to just kind of back off of it. Like, you don't have the inside scoop to being a woman just because you're a gay man and you share close proximity to women. Like, it's just like, does a woman, let's think about somebody who slept with a bunch of men. Throw a name out there. I don't even know who it is. But all I'm gonna say is, does that make her know the inside scoop to what it is about being a man? Like, it absolutely doesn't. I grew up around all, like, I don't know, maybe 15 men or so, but I don't know, no, because I am all female. I am a girl. I am a woman, right? Female. Like, so I don't have any idea. And I'm not finna sit up and talk to somebody else about it that way. I think it's weird and cringy, and he needs to stop. Somebody needs to stop him. Anyway, so let me get off of here so I can fix my food real quick because my stomach is growling. Y'all know I told y'all that 2 hours ago. The food did get here, but I need to get it started and get it cooked so I can eat. Now listen, I told my friend we would go and grab something to eat. I see what she texts and say. But we're gonna get back on here and we're gonna listen to Humble Brag. We're gonna listen to Nene. I feel like with Nene and this interview, the clips that I've seen, we are gonna find out about Brent. Brent is still in the hospital. He had a heart transplant, and his heart is rejecting. His body is rejecting the transplant. So he is still in the hospital, which is why Nene is not on Traders. That was inside scoop that Kempire was giving us, is that Nene was in talks of being on Traders. And I don't know if you watch Traders, but Traders is good. So get on over there and check Traders out. Even when we talk about Phaedra and whether we like her or not, Phaedra did amazing on Traders. Which, go figure, because maybe she is one for real, but she did amazing. And it's a good show. And here's the thing about, even though they use a lot of reality people on there, the deal is none of their backgrounds or whatever it is, the show that they come from, really even matters in that show, because the show is about something totally different. What'd you say? He say he think he's getting his info from. Yeah, I agree, but you should let that come out of their mouth. I think, right. That's a good one. Superhead. Okay. Right. So, and I don't see Superhead running around telling men what they really want. Okay. Yeah, you can't. And and even though, like, say for instance, the women we have, and this is something we're gonna talk about in some of my other lives that are more focused on, like, women and our healing and our mental capacities, and surviving different relationships and different things that happens in relationships. So, like you're saying, with that, it's like we have filled these roles. Like, I've been a single mom for a long time, and I've had to fill a role in which I had to play a dad position. Like, I had to be mom, I had to be the nurturer and the punisher. I had both roles. I had to be the provider, and I had to make sure the food was done. And so, but with that here, because that's why when we talk about gender roles or even submission in the way that people describe it, what people don't realize, in true actuality, is that if you get a woman and you're able to put her in a position where she can naturally be herself, then the things that people expect from the gender roles will naturally happen. But right now we live in a world where many women are the heads of their households, which that means they're running the house and the family. And so it's going to be hard for a man to come up against that. Like, it's hard for a man to come in and try to tell me what to do when I've been telling everybody else around me what to do for 20 some odd years. But on the flip side, if you come in and you provide a space that allows me to not have to be everybody's GPS, then I naturally can revert, and I can, fill a role that's being provided for me, as opposed to the role I have to provide for. And we don't talk about that enough. Let's just say, girl, I was starving, just got a Philly cheesesteak from Subway. Okay. You took pork chops out and then didn't want to cook them. Well, save them for later, because I got chicken out, okay? I got chicken out, so and then order some steak, because that could get made faster. So all right, guys, I am gonna get ready to get off here because my stomach is growling. Like, I'm not even lying. I'm surprised y'all can't hear it. So thank you again. Thank you, Miss Gabby, for joining. Welcome to the Cousins crew. Internet cousins, we here. We are in full effect. I give me about a half an hour or so, and I'm a update on the community tab. If for some reason, if my girlfriend kind of texts me in between then and say we need to be ready before then, maybe I won't, because I don't know how long that interview is, and I don't want to have to cut in between it. So give me about a good 30 minutes or so before I can get something scheduled, and let's watch this next interview, y'all. Let's watch this next interview, okay? Before we leave, make sure you like this video, share it with your friends. And if you have not already, make sure you subscribe to the Internet Cousins community so you can be a part of the family and join the Cousins crew. Again, we will be live Monday night for the first installment of Real Housewives of Atlanta Reunion 1. And I think for the rest of the week, I'm gonna just do some impromptu lives. The Basketball Wives live is up, even though Basketball Wives came on last night. So I do need to do an update, but the live is up from all the episodes up until last night's episode. And baby, that Shani came in. Go listen to my review because I told y'all on that review that Chantel has it out for Jackie and she wants blood. And Jackie know it, honey. Jackie know it. That lady shaking in her boots. I don't know what she did to that baby, but she know that baby is coming for her. Anyway, let's get on up out of here. Like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to see you in a little bit. We're going to watch another interview. Until then, y'all be cool, cousins. Catch y'all later.